Ice hockey is one of the world's fastest and most rugged games, and nowhere is the bruising ice sport played with more spirit and enthusiasm than here at Milwaukee's University School.
So let's go to work, head man the puck, make good passes, all right? And on the back check, you pick up your men. All right, let's go. I love this sport so much, and to be able to teach it to someone else, to play it the way I'd like to see it played, is probably the greatest satisfaction for me. There is a relationship between a coach and a player that really can't be described, and it goes on all year long, and as the year progresses, you know, it becomes such a tightly knit family. And everything else that happens, bad weather, cold weather, when you win and your team is working together, everything else is forgotten, and it's a great pleasure.
I was looking for something to do with my life, and I called back to the Maple Leafs and I said, I need to be back in hockey. And by some coincidence, a father from university school was in Toronto and asked Punch Imlach, who was then the coach, we need a coach, we have a program. He said, well, check out this guy out in Western Canada, he's looking. And so they flew me down here. And I saw it and I said, I gotta go for it. And just so sort of the perfect storm. I needed something, university school needed something, and it was a match. So here we are.
So we had an artificial ice rink in 1963. So we didn't have regular practices early and late in the season, obviously because of the weather. And so it was really challenging to fully develop a program because we didn't have consistent practice schedules because of the artificial ice. And of course, all that changed in 1964 when the first artificial rink was built, and then of course Coach Fritz came on, and I think the program really went to another level. We could practice regularly, so it really facilitated moving the program forward.
I had such a ripe audience. They wanted to learn, and I wanted to teach. And it was such a learning experience. I mean, I was 20 years old with no real experience, and I just had to learn to do things that would work. And just to see it grow, I guess, was my greatest joy. The success of the whole program, where it ended up, you know, we got better and better and better. So it was just wonderful.
Connection, people who were connected to USM. So he mentioned to me, he said, you know, they're going to be looking for a coach. So I said, yeah, I'd be very interested. Made a trip out, and we loved the place, my wife and I. And the boys, it was an ideal school situation for the boys. We got to know so many families, and let me tell you, when you have the chairman of the board of Miller Breweries, or a heart surgeon who's doing heart transplant, or Briggs and Stratton, they're helping you paint the lines on the ice. It was a new experience. You know, it was the right place, the right time, and it took a few years to get the two schools combined into one, and the rink out at the lower school at the time. It was the right place for the family. Couldn't have been a better spot.
I think the importance of this program is not just in Milwaukee, it's really statewide. I think the history of the program, the success of the program, the consistency of the program is really special and you know, something that I think is important to the school and important to the region. What I think about university school hockey, at least what defined my era, is Coach McDonald. And he was just an amazing coach. Even at a pretty young, sort of immature stage in your life, you kind of knew it was special to be coached by him.
It's hard. It's never easy coaching a group of young people. It's whether you can get the message across that if you're willing to work hard, that you're going to, how would you say it, see the ice or the basketball floor or the football field or what they call it, the field, hockey field, more if you're willing to put in the time and the effort to get better. And USM, the school itself, is based on that philosophy that you have to put in your time. I can't skate on the pond behind our condo here. It has never frozen in the 22 years that we have been here. If it does, I guess we'll be thinking about maybe moving back to the warmer place in Milwaukee.
Back in the late 90s, when I was athletic director from 97 to 2000, the Winter Club hockey program had girls and boys in their program. Debbie Donovan, at that time, was very instrumental in getting girls on the ice. And for many of them, it was their first experience prior to the 97 to mid-90s with skating. A lot of them were skating on the boys' teams, but they were skating. The girls really wanted to form a hockey team and skate under the banner of USM. And that was important to them. So we decided to pursue that, and this hadn't been done before. There were several other schools that were considering doing the same things because girls hockey was growing in the area. When we got it going, we hired a coach. His name was Chris Burrell. He decided to come in and really start training and working with these girls on a full-time basis. The challenge was getting some of the other teams to really buy into what we were all trying to do. At this time, there weren't any girls' high school hockey teams playing for their schools. And that's what we wanted to do. We really wanted to have the statement to say, you're skating for your school. You're going to letter in hockey at your high school. And we decided to do that. Once that decision was made, then it was easier to begin to see how this could grow.
So the girls program was just getting started at USM for high school. I remember my parents sat me down and they said, you know, we think we're going to send you to USM, and I thought it was a dream because even though I knew it was a great education, I knew that there was a rink right next door. And growing up for a passion for the sport of hockey, it meant that I could potentially access the rink during the day. So my experience as a girl playing a predominantly boys sport actually never really crossed my mind. I saw my brothers skating, I saw my dad, and I fell in love. Being on the girls team at USM, again, it was a dream because it was one of the first times I'd ever played girls hockey, surrounded by other girls. I had played boys hockey from the age of 5 years old up until 8th grade. There was a range in ability and talent, but we all bonded over this passion for this sport that we all shared.
So the schools that got together initially formed our own league, Midwest Girls High School Hockey League. And there were 6 teams involved in that. And the WIA was not willing to take that on. They wanted to say, well, was this really going to stick? Is this going to hold? So we had to make it look like we were really serious. It caught the interest of the WIAA. It did because in 2001, WIAA decided to have girls hockey in high school as a sport.
Business as usual for University School of Milwaukee, who makes their 8th state tournament appearance in the past 10 years.
And for the first time in school history, they are able to call themselves the WIAA state champions.
Herzberg, nice move with the puck. Unable to get a shot off initially, but wraps around, and there it goes. The floodgate finally opened. The Wildcats add on another.
So I was here for 4 years. Quite frankly, it was 4 of the best years of my life. I find that the camaraderie and the relationships that I built over that 4 years is something that's actually grown in the 15 years since I've graduated. Leading up to the 2006 season, we had 6, 7, 8 seniors, and we really felt that this was our chance. Immediately, we had a lot of different personalities that just seemed to coalesce around this idea of this is our opportunity, and we set the bar high early in the offseason of sort of state or bust, and as you start winning, especially up in Blake, I think was a big turning point early in the season that we might have something special here. And recognizing that everybody had a role to play, and feeding into that, I think, again, created this very unique environment. When that success comes, it sort of just feeds on itself.
Our son Jack was a sophomore on the 2006 team, and that team was incredible, just chock full of talent, and ranked #1 most of the season and kind of expected to win. And then Charlie, our son, who graduated in 2010, was a senior on the 2010 state championship team, and that was completely unexpected. They were a bunch of kids that just had huge heart, a lot of character. The team was full of, B players growing up through Winter Club. It's an incredibly special, tight-knit community.
So I was on the varsity team for 4 years. It was a very good way to meet other girls, and it was at the same time a sport that had a lot of girls with different skill levels and different abilities, and it was a fun way for everyone to come together and join at the rink. We were able to, I think, really make a fun family out of that, and that was something that I really did cherish for a long time, and I still do cherish.
There's just a whole atmosphere surrounding hockey at USM that makes it really important and really fun to be a part of. I can't even express enough how much that program gave me. I met my closest friends on that team. When you just spend that much time together with a group of people, they really do kind of become your family. And so I think that's just something that makes it so special.
Everybody comes across some challenging times, and we have this built-in support system, which I think is pretty incredible because you have this history with these gentlemen going back to when you were in high school. With that also, though, I think comes the parents, the volunteers, the coaches, and it's really the cumulative support and effort and buy-in over decades, quite frankly, decades. And to me, I think that is what separates this program from any other program in this state.
It's a wonderful program. It's great for girls and boys, and I know it's going to continue well on into the future. Having 3 boys that went through the program here at University School, Winter Club and University School, it's a great bonding experience not only for the athletes, but the parents as well. You get to know them pretty well.
We painted Willie the Wildcat on the wall back there many years ago. The rink is the one place that I can walk into now when I come back to school and burst into tears every time. There's so many memories here. I miss the hockey people. I miss seeing our kids having so much fun on the ice and being so dedicated and loving something so much. I miss the games. I miss the families, just the whole sense of community. And a hockey game at USM, there's just nothing like it. From the outside, we look like we're crazy hockey people, but once you are in the community, you get it.
That stuff's important to me, and I do believe in everybody who does play here and graduate should be prideful in this program and what it means and the success it's had. I hope there's lots more banners and lots more kids playing hockey in colleges up on that wall, and a lot more kids that just like me have just great memories of playing here.
Hockey's a really special thing, and hockey at USM is really special. I didn't think I would get emotional. I've already introduced skating to my little one, Charlotte. When you have the hockey gene in your blood, it's a big thing. I'm so excited to see the growth of girls hockey here at Winter Club and here at USM. So thank you to everyone that's grown the sport, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to see the growth of hockey and sharing this passion with the next generation.
Thank you for what you built, what you gave us, what you gave your children, and what you've given to this school.